Some of us now, good evening. The program you watch now, UDUOTA, with the reach now from independent television in the state Nigeria. Today, call me Children's Day. Yes, now don't see so many things when children do for inside the independent television, even on radio scenes, because yes, and one policy will say we hold in high esteem to ensure, say, the leaders of tomorrow, not today, will begin to groom them. And we would like to call on different organizations, maybe they take a cue for what they do. How? Yes, like the Children's Day, give children opportunity to be VC, to be chairman, to be pastor, to be anybody, to be governor, to be president, local mayor chairman, so that at the end of the day, they will now begin to have that sense of belonging while they grow up. My name is Naima Akololo. This evening, yes, we bring some two respected women. We'll see, we'll never see before. We'll see them for different platforms, but today, now we'll see them. I never see them for this program, but they deal with us for Inside House. Our former commissioner for arts, culture, and tourism, Nina Jimitola, deal with us for Inside House. Mama, good evening.
Good evening, Comrade Emma. I'm well, thank you.
You don't tell you.
I don't tell you.
Don't tell you.
It is more.
It don't taste more.
Yes.
How's life with you?
We thank God. We give God the glory.
All right. Okay. Another face whom say, they always see for television most times. She did with us this evening. Because of her love for children, her love for this country. At least, this is 9 o'clock, and for you to see women for inside this studio at this time is to tell you the heart they have for this country, they have for this nation, and they have for children and even the society. Her name now, Pastor Mrs. Lovett Yana. Mama, good evening.
Good evening, my brother.
Hi, the ministry.
Well, very well, thank you.
They do well, because when man and husband they do well, let me see the woman waiting back. I hope you are grooming other girls to be like you.
Oh, for sure, by the grace of God. For
All
sure.
right, please keep it up.
Thank you.
Honorable Commissioner,
Yes,
today is Children's Day. First of all, we'll start from there. What is your first? How you going to put that now? What will be the first thing when you talk about Nigerian child?
Well, the Nigerian child has quite some manage to cover up. You can see there's still a lot of child trafficking, child abuse. When you put children on the streets to hawk, that's child abuse. When you use children as child slaves, you know, they call them house helps. Some will say, oh, we're just helping the child. You're helping the child, but he is different or she is different from your child. A 12-year-old or an 8-year-old becomes the one who cleans, you know. In the markets, you also see them, you know, serving, you know, and being maltreated. You know, and despite the fact that they always say there's been legislation to support children and to protect children, like the Child Rights Act, but you don't see it being practiced. So we still have to cover, a lot to cover for the protection and the well-being of the Nigerian child.
Pastor Jeff, of course you are Pastor Jeff on the same thing, so calling you Pastor Jeff, you just finished one program, Raising Role Model. Now, first of all, when you look at the Nigerian child, the way our children do for streets, do you see hope? Do you see future?
Well, for me, yes. I see future, especially when we have more well-meaning people, individuals, parents, organizations, that will be able to come together and create that enabling environment for every Nigerian child to thrive. You know, we talk about education a lot. We talk about education, we talk about parents, you know, providing food and all that, but we also, we forget the psychosocial aspect of a child. That's where we are, that's where I know many parents, they need time. They need to pay attention. Formal education within the classroom, you know, context is not sufficient. Given, just like our able Mama, former commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, hinted, paying more attention to education and all that. We also need to look at the psychosocial development. And this is the reason why this foundation, Ultimate Life Foundation, we have been organizing this Raising Role Model mega conference to empower our children, our teens. Give them skills, sensitize them on moral values. Show them what is right. Turn on the light instead of causing the darkness. Because it is better to prepare a young child than to repair a damaged adult. It's from this level. And it's not one man thing. It's not only for parents. Everybody should take responsibility. Invest in a child because these children are valuable. They are the hope of our nation. They are the force. They are the possibility of our society. So if we don't pay attention to them, we will be biting our fingers tomorrow. No matter how well-meaning a government is, how well-meaning adults are, if we don't pay attention to the children, curbing all these excesses, child abuse, like our mama just hinted, child abuse, child trafficking, child labor. If we don't curb all these things, what you will get on the long run will not be palatable. So that's why I said we have hope if we apply the right principles, if we do the right thing.
Okay, but make I ask you, before I come out to information, make I ask you this question. As pastor wife, you relate with everybody. The rich, the poor, the downtrodden, the people when we say even anybody will come, pastor wife will carry on. Now, waiting with that thing we say the Nigerian parent don't feed their children. What you don't say?
Child neglect, indifference to certain vital aspects of a child. Because some parents just feel if I can provide money, then they run up and down, they are running to work, running to get business, to gather more money, build a house, furnish the room for the child, put everything. But they forget that quality time that you invest in that child's life will go a longer way.
Quality time?
Yes. Invest quality time to train the child, to nurture the child.
In what way?
Imbibe godly values in the child. Have, that healthy communication. There are some children that are being abused, even outside, even in school. Some are being bullied. Nobody to talk to.
No, I bet you don't rush the matter.
I don't want to rush.
Invest quality time. It is day bogus.
Yes, it's big.
Carry on down. When you say make parents invest quality time on children, how?
Okay,
what is they going to do? Talk on because
Yes.
people they make people go get you because they know they see you all the time.
Yes.
So today when they see you, now talk and say okay, see. No rush am. Now they try to talk.
It's true. When we talk about quality time, no matter how you take travel, how your business is, as a mother, as a father, when you come back home, ask your children, how was school today? Did anything happen? How did you fare today? Are you getting it? Enter their room. Some men will just enter house. They'll just enter room, carry remote control. They press whether sports channel, news channel. Then they don't care to find out how the day went, for their children, to know if somebody tried to molest their child for school, somebody tried to bully their child at school. They don't even ask those questions. And this environment, sorry to say, I know you are a man. This environment, what we hear most of the time, go and meet your mother. Go and meet your mother. Go and show your mother. Go and give it to your everything. Go and meet your mother. A mother alone is not the only one that can, that should train a child. It's a collective thing. Father and mother, papa and mama for house. Pay attention. Don't make it seem as if the bulk, the burden, the responsibility only lie upon the mother. Even the father, if there's some role you will play. Children fear their fathers. They have this reverence, for their fathers. So when a father comes and is, tackling certain things headlong, trying to, cultivate, to, streamline maybe their child's excesses and all that, I think they will be more effective.
They're just living for the
mommy. Because when mom, it's only mommy that says, hey, put this one, hey, don't do that, don't follow that friend, don't go there, and that is not saying anything. The child can feel, well, I don't really fear mommy as much. Now it's even daddy, and daddy is not talking, so it's not really an issue. But when the father asks his voice, Then one thing we need to talk about, one area that I'm not too comfortable with, is this. Please, parents, fathers, I see they talk about fathers again. I know you're a man. Fathers, please put respect and honor on your wife, the mother of your children. When you talk down on your children, it becomes difficult for that child.
On your wife.
On your wife. On your wife. Yeah. Thank you, my brother. When you talk down on your wife before your children, you say, "Hi, don't mind your mother. Hi, don't mind her. Don't listen to her. Don't mind her." It becomes difficult for her word to be loved, for her word to be honored by those children. Then when case hot, you will now go and meet her and tell her, "See your child, look at what your son is doing. Look at what your daughter is doing. Talk to your child, talk to your son." Oga is medicine after death. Most of these lapses, it is the impression that some fathers are creating upon their children. That's what is making it difficult for mothers to discipline the children at home. I'm not saying some women don't also do that. I know there are some women, at least we are addressing it from both ends. There are some women who don't put respect as well in their husbands, upon their husbands before their children. It makes it, see, you are doing yourself a disservice. If a child is good, Oga, madam, is good for you. If a child is bad, it's bad for you.
Mm-hmm. Honorable Commissioner.
Yes, sir.
We don't do here. Now, at your level now, you don't work out so many places for this country and for this world. What will you see today for the life of our children? Yeah. What will be the thing we feel recommend for parents, government, institutions, what they will feel do to reduce all of these things we mentioned that time?
Mm-hmm. Okay, she made a point that it's a collective effort. Yeah. That is a very good point. Yeah. We could begin to talk Pidgin, ba?
Yes.
Sorry, I noticed blowing grammar. Both of us. Okay. Yes, now collective effort, You get one book where Hillary Clinton writes, she say it takes a village to raise a child. So we have to go back to the core traditional values.
Hillary Clinton.
One book where she writes, it takes a village. Yes. So we must go back to those core traditional values where there were certain cultural. These days, when you talk about culture, they will say, na juju be that. No, not be juju. Culture, now they bring up a child well. A child when you get culture, when you know in culture, that child go just they grow anyhow. Go they copy this one, copy that one, copy this one, copy that one. And when you're copying different cultures that have no relationship with your own culture, you go grow up in a rudderless and yama manner. You know what they respect. Eventually, two people no go respect you. You no go know what is right and what is wrong. There are some societies that some things are permitted. They're very permissive societies. But our own society is traditional. And when we obeyed those traditions, everything was good in this country. There are still some communities today, that if money drops on the floor, nobody will pick. Because if somebody steals, they know the remedy. There are checks and balances. So we need to go back, in my own opinion. We spoke about something at your event today about when we were young. It was difficult to accept presents from men because you were afraid to take it home.
That's right.
These days, some parents even want their children to go and bring in. And you see all the things that are happening today, with this ritual, that ritual, all sorts of sordid and gory stories. So that's why I think that there's a missing link. That missing link at that time, when we lost all this, because of materialism, I beg your pardon, because of bad leadership, because of, what would I say, lack of conscience on the part of our leaders and on the part of even some bodies that people used to look up to, that people put on a pedestal. And some of them have really let down the country badly. You know? When you hear that this person gets something billion in his account, you know? And his community, go to his community, the community is probably one of the poorest today. Let's even put aside the fact that the money was not stolen. He made the money, but what have you done to impact on your community? What have you done, you know, to create the kind of awareness that would help the youths to know that they have this role model that they can copy? And where they have you as a role model, what have you done to give them that lift, that push to move up to the next level and probably be the next genius that the world will discover? Why must you be the only one?
Commissioner, sir, and that's the way we see the look for society. She talked about role model that time. Those things, well for copy them. Now, you see some organizations who sponsor those who that they go to, now they be now. One person gets scholarship. One person go win this one. One go do this one. We say, that's how he just get that guy and he be the number one for the class. I said, just go out, that university just give him motto. But these days, our children don't see all those things. Okay, you don't believe, say, some people say, what they call stars. So we'll see their picture for here, do that. This, all those on the also the cost, what make our children, they put eye for book, call they face other bad things.
No, our children still, they put eye for book. Nobody said they put eye for book. It's just this social media thing, you know. It's positive and negative.
For the social media?
Social media, it's both ways. Positive in the sense that you can sell yourself to the outside world. You can also learn, because these days everything is within a click of a button, a lot of information. So even if you want to study, you know, through the social media, you can. It will help, the internet. But also, it is negative in the sense that somebody, you know, yesterday, MC Casino said something. Somebody does something very bad, very terrible. Maybe something that is exotic and erotic and inimical to our culture and traditions, you know. But yes, you know, everybody wants to see it, you know. And then the person makes a lot of money from people clicking on to watch that thing, you know. Then somebody invents something, maybe a vaccine or something that, you know, would help people to live longer in sciences or humanities or something. And nobody is clicking.
Okay, before we come off on children's side, for time we don't take, you see one video about one Peking. We go one thing for, they go one competition for UDUOTA, I think Dubai, when they go about, when you see that video, what do you talk about, what did they call those kind of things? There was a video about a child, we go, I think Dubai, when they go to do this game, what they call one game, what they do. And
which game is that?
There's a game now, but
chess or
not chess. There's a video. No, just hold on. There's a video about it. This Chris Land School now.
Okay.
That thing that happened that time. You followed up the story.
Oh yeah.
So what is your reaction to this kind of thing? And first of all, see the role where the parent, the mother play, and see the role where you see the Peking can play. You feel married the two together. See those parents, they try to life for that child.
But to tell you the truth, I didn't follow. I don't watch those videos. Yes. So that's why I wasn't When I see anything that, you know, is, I know would upset my sensibilities too much, and, you know, I don't watch it, you know. So
Pastor, you hear about that story, Abi?
Yes,
So the role of the mother, because make I not tell you now the role. When I listen, the mother, because today is Children's Day. Now we are talking about the upbringing of child. The mother come out, come cry, say, in Pekin a virgin, say that rape the river. But the video they put for social media and consider the act and the way the Pekin they perform for the video, not social the Pekin, na virgin. So the question is, where did we get it wrong?
Okay. Now, big question, just they ask now. I know.
Now you leave us right.
Like, you know, everybody knows there's one slogan I always say. I say, anything that is not encouraged is discouraged. Our honorable said something. Abi, now you say somebody go school, go get good this thing. Nobody go mention her. Nobody go mention her. You see? So when good things, some people are doing good things, nobody is applauding it, like honorable mention. Nobody is sharing it. Nobody say, wow, this is good. Oh, this is a laudable feat. This is, wow, keep it up. No. But when they are doing the negative one, now you will see like, you will see click, you will see views, people go, they repost them. You will see the number of shares, you will say, what is all this? What is all this, my brother? So the thing is, we need to go back to the basics. Is that not so?
Yes, that's what
I will go back to the basics now because you don't tell you when they talk about go back to the basics.
She said people don't lose their conscience. You know what?
I will go back to the basics.
Now with the talk,
tell me what, because me know
what did they influence our values? Waiting we value. Abi? Because we they see everything now. What we value as individuals, what we value as parents, what in government value. That is what is being expressed now in the world at large. Yes. Now what we value. Now we pay attention to. If you value education, if government value education, you go see and the thing go get reflected upon the educational sector. Abi na lie.
Yes.
What are we saying?
You know, like.
So if parents value better things, you will see their preferences, the things that they give attention to. Whether I'm at church or whether I'm a progressive humanitarian. Yes, I'm a pastor, I'm married to a pastor, right? But I'm a progressive humanitarian. So when I speak to people as individuals. I don't speak to you based on your position. I don't speak to you based on your ethnicity. No, I speak to you as a person. And as a person, you are liable for the choices you make. Yes, you are free to make your choices, but you are also free to enjoy the consequences of the choices that you make.
May I also add, have you finished?
Yes,
Pastor?
no,
Okay.
how can I continue when honorable they talk?
Pastor, you're a woman of God.
No,
you take precedence over me. May I also add that legislation, strong legislation, they're very important. And where there's already legislation.
There's legislation now. Like I talk now, solutions now. Because all of us don't see the things where they're wrong. This legislation now to do what? In what area?
In the area of child protection. Yes, punitive measures, even punishing parents who are not good parents. It's very important. And going as far as taking their children away from them where they don't change.
That one is a good one.
Yes. You can't take children from them, from the parents, and give to the grandparents. And make the parents pay the grandparents, well, maybe not pay, but at least provide the money to take care of those kids if they are irresponsible. At least to save that child, from irresponsible parents, where they are irresponsible. Maybe after going for psychoanalysis and treatment as well. You just don't take a child like that because the parents have offended, or they've gone, out of the law. But there has to be a process. Social security, social services, welfare, the child as well, seeing an analyst and, different process. Then that is one of them. Another one is also identifying, if his child is getting the right treatment, both at home and in school, and elsewhere, even in church, because there's abuse everywhere.
Of course,
Abuse.
of course.
Everywhere.
It's not about,
You know. So, also, do not doubt a child who talks about abuse. Because the first inclination is to say, that child is lying. Or the child has gone to watch an erotic movie. Now that there's internet and they can, press the buttons and watch. So they're always doubting these children. So a lot of them don't want to come out. And when they come out, they are ridiculed, stigmatization, and all that's fine. First thing to do is to believe that child and then investigate. Take time to investigate and rescue the child. If the child is lied, you would know. But the first thing is remove that child from the area of those allegations, in my own view. And then, of course, our leaders should lead by example. Our leaders don't lead by example. Maybe not all of them, but quite a number of them. Look at what is happening everywhere. It's like the country is...
She mentioned something that if you say within government value, then they will show.
Yes.
So if our children, they house 5 months and they go school, which means that government not value education.
That's it. That's it. Yeah.
So as a parent, that kind of thing will happen for this country. What it is the children will feel now?
That they're not valued. Every child today wants to graduate and leave the country. No child, do I make any sense?
Of course.
No child wants to live in Nigeria. All of them, they are going on the internet, they're applying for one thing or the other. And these are children who ordinarily love the country and want to stay, but with the things they're saying and the way things are going, nobody wants to stay. I remember when I was a student in France, a classmate of mine and I were talking, and I was complaining that one of the things I don't like about this country, I love the country, the civilization and everything, is the tax system. The tax system is too high. And you know what he said to me? He said, you know what, you Africans, you never like the tax system because your government has not given you a reason to like the tax system. Says, but we here, who come from here, who are brought up here, we love to pay tax. We see it as an obligation to pay tax.
That's right.
Says because we go to school free, our medicals free. If you're a French citizen, your medicals free. School, as long as you're admitted in the university in France, it's free. There's social security. When you come out and you don't get a job immediately, the French system will pay you social security. They will encourage you to have what they call handwork over there. Apart from your professional certificate, have something else on the side. So all these things are paid for by the government. And then your children, books, your children in school, they will pay for books. After every holiday, when they resume school, there's money for pencils and exercise books and this and that. Yes.
Thousands.
What do our government, what do they do for our children? What do they do for the lecturers? What do they do for the institutions?
You know that on Monday, right? On Monday? Okay, last week Friday, like this. I was on a Zoom interview on this program. I did talk to one man from Italy. Now, for this country now, when you talk, say, university education free, right? A lot of people don't believe us.
It is free in Germany as well. Well, let me not talk too much about Germany.
When you talk about There are some
Healthcare.
countries, primary, secondary school, from 0 to that secondary school, the parent no go pay 1 naira. So how would that person, how would that child no one die for that country? But over here. So, Mrs. Jeff, what will be the future for Nigeria Peking? It will ever work? What's the future? Because right now, you live here now with the year, that's so they rape out, that's so they do this one, that's so they do that one, that's so they thief, this one, the many, so what will be the future for Nigeria Peking?
Me, I'm a believer. And as a believer, I must have hope. You see it. I must believe the best. I must believe that it will not end like this. I must believe that. I must, yes, I must believe that, you know, God helping, God willing, you know, all of us will cooperate. Apply the right principles. Do what we need to do. Take our stand, take our place, take responsibility. You know, stand against what is wrong and stand for what is right.
Yes.
You see? So that things can be better for the Nigerian child. Because once all of us start, me, I believe, say, anybody will change their mind. I don't believe that it is too late for anybody. If you really make up your mind and you see that what is on the other end is better, I know that change can actually happen. If people make up their mind.
Change can actually happen. That's very encouraging from the altar. Yes, very encouraging. And, I think it's good. We need more of this kind of stuff. Honorable Commissioner, I think I come back to you. We look at the issue of mothers now. It comes like say this issue of domestic violence. Can't be the thing just me. For instance, we go to Nigeria. First of all, what if you see some of the factors will cause these things? Now, the part of the men or the part of the women?
I think it's frustration plenty for Nigeria now.
That's so.
It's a tension today. Tension day for work.
Tension today.
Today.
Everywhere they hot.
Everywhere they hot. That's so, my sister. Everywhere they hot, you know. And frankly, the way things are going, we don't even know. I don't want to say where we're going. Let me say how we're going. Let's use that word, you know. So look at diesel now. Okay, man, we get business. Where they buy diesel 160 something naira before, huh? Now the thing enters 600 and something naira, almost 700. Yeah, and the profit no increase. The lights no day again. No. Before they carry light for maybe 5 hours. Now sometimes 10 hours no light, or the light go just come, go make yanga for you. Say I don't come, I don't come. Before you say hello electricity, well, I don't go. Abba, giant of Africa. Which kind of giants be that? I beg. Yeah? Not only that one, school fees the amount, maybe picking the sick, people for village to get their own. Children, where they take care for village, you know, if you tell them, say, you know, go take care of them again. You have to continue. Meanwhile, nothing is moving economically for you. If anything, it's like the system is working against the people's businesses, against small and medium-sized businesses.
So, but now,
why? No, everybody tell like there's a frustration now. Frustration. And maybe don't collect loan. Interest, they mount. No, I go pay. Bank loan, you know what bank loans are like?
Oh, boy.
A friend of mine, when she was posted to Holland, she was working with an international agency. She still does. She was posted to Holland, and she found out that when you take a mortgage loan in Holland, the interest is 0%. She bought a house in Holland. You know what it is like in Nigeria to try and own a home. They could tell you, say, make you bring the money, or you pay 20 today, you pay 20 tomorrow, you pay Abba. Bank no go finance. Make they pity people now. Because one day, everything will erupt. People too go school, they too de-educated for Nigeria, for the kind of system we're living in now.
That's right.
Yeah. People are too enlightened to buy all of this. That they're quiet is not because they are stupid or they're not intelligent. It's because they have no choice for now than to be quiet. Okay, imagine America. Look at the gun laws. It's very easy to obtain guns. Okay, we say for Nigeria, there's no law like that that makes it easy to obtain guns. But meanwhile,
Full everywhere.
thank you, my sister.
They deceive.
So, how are we going? Not where are we going, no. How are we going?
Mini Alpha now, Niger Alpha.
Hey, we think I'm well. No.
So, Pastor, the way we see, the way domestic violence as man that didn't talk about. Because couple say the anger na women body and then there's a problem
So,
You know, she said frustration.
not frustration.
But you know, frustration, but you know, we not continue on the wrong path. The moment we try to justify a wrong act, we not go change that thing. It be like who say two people say that they're hungry. Abi, one go rob bank. The other one go say, I'm hungry. For me not to hungry again. I go look for a job, extra job, or make a start small business with this more money when I get. Abi? So two people are faced with the same predicament, but they responded to it differently. So that's why they say everybody is a product of the choices that they make. You get it? So I don't believe if we want blame, we go blame everybody. Everywhere go scatter. Because everybody gets waiting the pain for body. Everybody gets waiting they make them, you know, they frustrated at one point in time or the other. But common sense, conscience, that fear of God, you say, no. Say because I want ease the tension, I want steam off, make I exert the frustration from other person's body, make I transfer the aggression.
Now they ask to now the women cause the
not be they cause some other.
So why you come like that the women they beat, they kill?
Now see, when we teach, I teach family life a lot. I teach marriage, intending couples, family life, singles, when it comes to marriage relationship. One thing I tell them, if you want to marry a person, don't marry a baby boy or a baby girl. If he fail exam, he go say he no go do again. Business no work. He no see customer enter shop for the past 1 week. He go say because of that, he don't end relationship. It's not mature. Because for life, challenges the deal. But the deal here is, are you going to keep blaming somebody else? Are you going to keep transferring your frustration, aggression on another person? Or will you take responsibility and say, okay, you know what? Let's join forces together, let's put our heads together, and let's see how we can make this thing work. Some of these things now, signs of immaturity. Immaturity, you know, not wanting to take responsibility. You know, as it be. Man go beat wife finish. He go say, look at what you have made me do now. If I say me, they keep your mouth shut, no, they keep your mouth shut. But that same man, fear, no go let him talk to his boss, madam boss for office. Because the woman, they under his roof, they panic beat her every day. Because something tell him, say, if he they trample upon her. But it is wrong. And honorable, you know, say you talk about legislation.
And the one we get babe. You know, if you be the babe like that.
We are not encouraging anybody to have baby. We are not encouraging anybody to have baby.
Yeah, no, but you see, you know, pastors, the reality is not only Christians marry.
Not true.
Unbelievers marry.
Of course.
We they see the way unbelievers, some of them,
They carry like egg.
this same man, the way they pamper a babe for outside. He go pamper the babe in girlfriend or side chick at the they beat the wife.
It's not.
So, some go later. Okay, now let me tell you what happened recently. For inside this building, on Sunday, there's this story. I don't know whether you don't hear. One young man, he date one girl. They get there for one school for invitation. One graduate there for 400 level. Now, he be like say the girl say he don't want the relationship again. The guy say no. See, he go talk when the relationship go to end.
Can you imagine?
At the end of the day,
Chauvinism.
Chatting the girl say go kill her. Go kill her. Then the girl do one voice message, go send to a friend. So, well, this is what they tell me. If now here, death can finally kill her, make it build because they tell her since she know here. But at the end of the day, she herself now house fly. One of the year words of one thing. When the follow comes, go great. She now be herself. True. The girl run, go come hide because he thought the boy say, you know, again along the line. As the girl just say finally come out from where hide, then the boy say, carry him, cool, Sunday morning like this, walk on the road and they beat and kill him. Do you know something? So as a pastor, what is he? They talk to children who are married. What if you say go cause those kind of things?
See, on both sides. A lady open a koro, he entered that kind of relationship. Now maybe they talk say psychosocial aspect when you are grooming your child. Please, both they focus on their self-esteem, how they see themselves. Because I don't know what it make some girls just think say they feel just manage anything for anything we just come.
Voila.
I don't know. Maybe now it's a mindset thing. Something. So, when I teach today for my conference today now, I made the children say, tell yourself, I am good enough. And also tell yourself, nobody is too good for me. Some people, they date you, they want to make you feel as if they are doing you a favor. My sister run from that person, or my brother, if now a girl, they make you think say she na Lolo or Queen of Sheba. I beg you, leave her. It's not worth it. You can't be begging somebody to respect you as an individual in a relationship, to love you, to honor you. You know, as he or she should in a relationship. It's not a relationship now prison. Now prison. That will not be life. It's not worth it.
Also, parents should not send back their daughters. Parents should not send back their daughters.
That's your pikin run meet you.
Yes, if your pikin run away from they say no, go back to your husband's house. No, they shouldn't do that.
You try to resolve the matter.
Exactly. And where it is not resolvable, and then you...
Pastor, look, I asked you this tempting question. One young man, I think the great messenger for this program, to say that till we Bible to say till death. Is it till death?
Yes.
See, no, they need for Bible. That's number one. Then two, for the way Christians say they do Bible, do marriage. They do it like always. They preach them, push them back. Even when the thing not the work. Even when the guy they ban a beat. Now when we pass, they push him. He get the go stay with the other. Why?
See, now you they looking like that. Now you they looking like I know many cases like this where we don't hear. Many casualties, some don't die in the name of I be Christian. I beg go. I don't want to put stigma for my family or for my church or maybe I they hold this position for church or. This and that. I know I made the talk say CCCO, you know, something like that. We don't have those cases now. Honorable, no. I run an NGO since 1999 we started it. 23 years now. Ultimate Tender Foundation. So we have seen cases.
So if that kind of case, how does this work?
It gets some me and my colleague. There was a case some years ago. We were advising the talking to do man. She said no. When she ran to her parents, not be church now. Her own papa and mama say for our family we they forbid go back to your husband. The husband go beat and they go admit her 3 days for hospital.
Can you imagine?
They will discharge her. The parents will say, go back to the...
Without caring if something goes wrong in the process.
Me no get problem with say, maybe you try to make marriage work. But a situation where this person now, she's helpless, she's a victim, she can't stand against this man. Or it could even be, maybe now the woman, they maltreat the man. Because some women, they kill husband, some they beat their husband too. I don't say man no one here, but that's the reality. Some women, they beat their husband.
He did.
So, for me, I beg you, intervene. Are you getting it? Stay alive. It is better to be alive than to die in a miserable, toxic relationship or marriage. Are you getting what I'm saying? The first thing where Jesus Christ come, he said, I have come to give you life. Is that not so? That you might have life and have it to the full. John chapter 10, verse 10. Not to take your life away. So the first thing you should know, you stay alive for Jesus. We die for you. If you be as a believer. Who not be believer, at least you stay alive. Now who stay alive, now they achieve anything for this world. Abi? Who stay alive, now go harness other opportunities tomorrow. If one door closed, it go mess abi. Even Bible talk and say a living dog is better than a dead lion. So to him that is joined among the living, there's still hope. So the key is stay alive. A young mother now, that lady, she died.
Yes, sir.
Now the man nicely take phone, call the parents, say, your pikin don't die.
Aye.
Oh yes, sir. He called, he said, she's dead. Just like that.
The
Living,
one
yes,
was
that
just
case,
an-
the case we handling, my colleague and I. So, so leaving younger children behind. Before you know what, now those children will be suffering.
Of course.
We are back to Genesis again. Yes, we are back to square one again. So, please, there are many viable bodies, organizations that can intervene. We work with some organizations, I don't want to mention them, I don't know whether I get the freedom to mention them, but we work with some organizations, legal bodies that can prosecute, that can intervene, wife battery, domestic violence, child molestation. We work with them because as an head of NGO, I belong to a body of executive directors in the state and even in the nation, even as a matter of fact, across West Africa, I belong to 3 organizations, 3 groups of leaders, heads of organizations, just like myself.
So why not?
So with the road minds, we they cooperate.
Why not you sensitize people more?
My
Yeah,
brother.
no, because
you
no,
invite me to
because you
because
know,
you
no,
invite me
you know
to
what
your
they
house.
talk about. No, wait, no, what they call because come like say the one they land pass. Now say no, I don't make my parents know, my pastor know. I be head for church. They will say my marriage is work. Me I dey sing for church.
No, don't
me
die
I
in
be choir leader.
silence.
I be this one. Now no me the cause
No.
Then some people no. You can't go from my house. Go back.
Don't die in
Go and
silence.
stay with your husband.
And that
Organizations
is
dey.
very
You
common.
call. Okay.
That is
Yeah,
very
yeah.
common, sending
No, but our
wives
culture.
back to their yes,
Uh-huh.
because of pride, But also men are suffering as well. It's not only women who suffer. There are men who have died in the process.
That's right.
Maybe through physical attack or even emotional attack.
BP,
And
everything.
BP, cardiac arrest, and from heartbreak. Some men can't handle heartbreak. A man may like to chauvinism, but when some women, when he handle and well, the man go break down. And when he break down, anything can happen. So it goes both ways, yeah. Also, some men who are suffering from this kind of thing should be rescued too.
That's right.
Just like women should be rescued, they should rescue the man too. If not, to drag the man away from his own home, say abandon the house, leave him for the woman, leave
Rehabilitate am
everything,
first.
just come out.
Make you feel dey okay. That's all.
That support group should be there, to rescue him from that. I have a friend whose children told she and her husband, when they were racking themselves, make we put them that way, they rack themselves. And these children, they grew up seeing their parents racking. So they can't tell and say, okay, all of them don't graduate, 3 children. And they look at the parents and say, look, mommy, daddy, we don't grow now. We could just separate. Daddy, now you go leave house for mommy, or mommy, now you go leave house for daddy. Anyone, if mommy go leave house, may you settle her. He said, we would rather be visiting you and you alive than say make one of you die.
So even before the children graduate, you still beat them.
In old age.
And the beatings, she told me the beatings were getting worse with age.
With age?
Yes, with age, So the children separate them. When the woman now decided to leave, now the daughter helped her, they sneak her things out. Small, till she finally left quietly. You see, that was how that one was able to avert probably something that would have been tragic. Yeah. Because she sensibly just left. And the man did not go after her, which means he never really, they didn't care.
So all this why she must she wait to reach that time when we see we don't get some kind life-threatening other injury or whatever, before she will not begin to take that kind of decision.
Let me tell you something. The weakest point of a woman is her children.
That's right.
Any woman who has a child with a man, even maybe not just biological, even children in the household, it's very difficult for them to abandon that home because of abuse. They will keep having hope and hope things will change. And if they don't change, you will say, my children are small. I want them to grow up with a father and mother. Children don't have to grow up with a father. There are many role models that they can have, that you can create for them.
Yes, to mentor them.
To mentor them. Not necessarily their biological father or adoptive father, no. That could even make the situation worse. Because if a child is affected by violence in a home, he is most likely or she is most likely to be violent.
Yeah. You don't hear that when we see some children come to us say, Daddy said beating a woman is good. Well,
can that child be normal when they grow up? Even not only by God's grace.
Yes.
Our great honorable.
Thank you.
Thank you for your love for children.
Yes.
And also for Nigeria, because you don't touch so many areas.
So much.
And for you where they watch, a young man and a young girl, you don't see your people, your role models for society, their advices is, pick one of these advices, maybe take after work, remain alive to enjoy your children.
Exactly.
Than to go and die, say you want to be in that place. Pastor Mrs. Jeffrey Yanawa, I salute you. Before we come over here, I will just give you one minute. Yes. When I just say advice to the Nigerian parents, because I know they again. Just advise the Nigerian parents.
Pay more attention to your children. Do their homework with them. If you can't do their homework with them, take interest in their school activities and just take general interest and talk. Let your children trust you to be able to tell you anything. If anybody touches them in an untoward way, give your children the confidence to be able to tell you that, Mommy, somebody did this to me, or Daddy, someone did this to me. And fathers, please, don't be distant. Don't be macho. There's nothing like being macho when it comes to your children. Children are precious gifts. So you have to remove pride and chauvinism and ego from your household. And be loving and caring to your wife. Show her affection in front of your children so that your children can grow up in an affectionate home. And never, 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 for any reason whatsoever, hit your wife. Madam too, never ever push your husband to the point where she'll hit you, he will hit you, or you hit him.
Thank you.
Peace and love.
Just advise the Nigerian parents.
Our parents.
Let's speak pidgin this time.
Pidgin?
Yes.
Okay. Our parents, make a beg una. This work, if you just do one, sometimes you feel burden, you feel stress. It's okay. If you give way to what you not get. So it's okay to take a break, to breathe, add value to yourself. It takes skill for a person to be able to deliver, even as a parent. That's the truth. So the things where you need to learn on parenting, how to be a better father, how to be a better mother, learn them. Learn them. All of us, they learn every day. We are all a work in progress. Learn them so that you can be better. If you make mistake yesterday, retrace your step today and say, no, the way I handle this matter as a parent, I know handle it well. Today now, okay, how do I do things better? If you see somebody else, like a mentor, that is doing well, say, okay, how do they do I love the way they carry your children together, your wife, your children. Or, madam, I love the way they carry your family together. I bet, show me how you take one. They know they shape for this thing. If you're picking good, share it good for us, good for you, good for society. So I beg you, take care of yourself so that you can be able to take care of your children. God bless you. Your labor will not be in vain.
Amen.
All right, we salute everybody when they watch us this evening from different parts of the world. When I don't hear from the former honorable commissioner, and also pastor wife. When I don't hear the different advices for children and for parents, and even for you when you intend to marry, and those of us who don't do marriage, we don't do already Right. Happy Children's Day once more to all Nigerian children. God bless you.
Happy Children's
Happy
Day.
Children's Day.